Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's the leader of the Cosmic Armada, Wolf Nara, back to bring you another Boruto-based discussion. Today we're going to be talking about what did not only Kashi and Koji teach Boruto, but what did Kakashi Hatake teach Boruto over the 2-year time skip. So if you guys want more Boruto content like this, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We got more Boruto content coming to the channel again. But anyway, let's get started.
I say right foot, left foot, step up, shoot. Smackers in my hand, the cause it said like a salute. My little brother just threw back a 10, bitch just made him puke. I say, bitch, you ain't my boo, don't get no fuss with what you do. This right here, 400 for a line, bitch, this ain't no juice. Yeah, I got the juice, you wanna fuck with shit, me too. All my brothers told them cutters, nigga, who gon' shoot for you? Lost my dog to a wreck, that's why the whip ain't got a rule. Ay.
So now let's get into the Kakashi portion of the video, because I do believe Kakashi taught Boruto a lot more than what Kakashi Koji taught Boruto. So when you take into account the aspect of Boruto having to fight alone, his stamina is literally going to drain constantly, since he's either A, fighting, or B, retreating from pursuers during the course of this time skip. So now, what would be something that could revitalize him? One thing that really came to mind, we also see Kakashi use this as well in part 1 of Naruto. Right after we see Sasuke Shidori training, when he has the holes inside of the rock, we see Kakashi training by himself. So if you guys know what scene I'm talking about, or know what scene I'm alluding to, then you already know the answer for the first thing that I believe Kakashi probably taught Boruto, which is the first inner gate and second inner gate release. We know Kakashi is able to utilize the first inner gate. He's able to actually provide himself a burst of stamina through the first use of the first gate, but with the first gate you gain a ton of fatigue right after, which would be counterintuitive. So Kakashi also knows how to use the second gate as well. So now with Boruto having the gates, he doesn't necessarily need to have the ability to open all 8 of them or even 4 of them. He only needs the ability to push out a ton of stamina and replenish that stamina that he lost as well. And we saw Kakashi never typically goes past the second gate as well. And so another thing Kakashi taught Boruto, because we know Boruto learned the Uchiha style. When we see Sasuke after he trained with Kakashi, he start using a different form of martial art, just like when Sasuke trained with Orochimaru, he referred to Kenjutsu after that. So now the martial art, I do believe Boruto was taught by Kakashi, because Boruto is adept at Hyuga or gentle fist style. I believe that Boruto also learned strong fist style. That's the martial art in Naruto where they actually are able to break bones off punches and kicks, the same style that Guy used, the same style that Rock Lee used. A piece of Sasuke's repertoire has strong fist in it as well. And Kakashi, and we know Kakashi, hey, he's that man when it comes to taijutsu. Hey, A-Phone, them play the clip. After seeing that clip, you clearly see Kakashi is no slouch when it comes to the hands. So now, him utilizing or teaching Boruto to utilize strong fists will go to show that Boruto will have the versatility in his taijutsu to be able to combat almost anywhere, whether it's up close and precise hits like gentle fist, or hits that are able to break down your opponent like the strong fist, or hits that are able to aim for precise cuts like the Uchiha swordsman style. And so if Boruto is able to use strong fists, that would actually take his ability up to the... If Boruto is able to use strong fists, that would actually take his ability up to the next level, which he would then probably be comparable to people like Naruto or Sasuke, or even Kakashi when it comes to taijutsu in regards to the strong fist. Now Boruto will have to put all 3 of his different martial arts together to be able to compete with someone like Rock Lee. However, with those 3 in particular, since they're consider themselves a jack of all trades with a master of none, Boruto in regards to martial arts would be like that. He would be more of like a UFC fighter or an MMA fighter. He has mixed martial arts versus just being a master at this one particular martial arts. And so let me know what you guys think about Boruto at least getting up into the second gate and strong fist down below. Now, we don't see Momoshiki up until this point in the story itself. And so I also stated to you guys that we was going to talk about another ability that could possibly seal more Momoshiki's consciousness in Boruto's vessel, in which it'll make the most sense in regards to the events that is supposed to play out based on Momoshiki prophecy. Boruto is supposed to lose his will to complete. Boruto is supposed to lose his will to live, in which he's supposed to give that will completely over to Momoshiki, and Momoshiki has the vessel permanently. That is Momoshiki's prediction. And so, if the Fine Palm Seal is the most likely ability that he would get in regards to the sealing jutsu, then the evil sealing method would be the most likely jutsu that he would get. So Kakashi pretty much writes a bunch of kanji and a sealing mark on the floor, in which he then seals all of that blood into the user, and then that seal strength is based off the user's will. So if the user's will gets weaker, then the seal gets weaker. But if the user will is stronger, then the seal is stronger. And so for Boruto to eventually lose his will to life, and for us to not see Momoshiki utilized up until this point against an opponent like Cold in regards to the karma, then it would lead me to believe that maybe Boruto has a sealing jutsu on the karma, like the even sealing method, in which eventually he may lose his will to live, in which the seal then weakens, and then we get to see a hint of Momoshiki's consciousness slipping through in Boruto 2 Blue Vortex. Let me know what you guys think about that. So now the next jutsu he's going to teach him would be the purple lightning. We know he can't necessarily teach him the lightning cutter or the lightning blade or the Shidori because of the lack of perception. It's only able to view straight ahead, and which is easily countered if you don't have ocular dojutsu like the Sharingan or the Byakugan, who's able to actually see a multitude of directions without having to really strain your eyes to do so, or something that can compensate for that tunnel vision in of itself. And so we see Boruto utilize purple lightning, which Kakashi said he just emits lightning chakra, he pushes lightning chakra to his hand, converts that lightning, or emits that chakra into lightning style chakra, and then he adds, I think it's yang style chakra onto it, or Sage the sixth path chakra onto it, and it permits this purple effect, in which he's able to use it in long distance cases and short range cases. So now we know Boruto has that jutsu, in which we see him utilize it to the same degree that Sasuke utilized it, just going to show that Boruto is combining not only Sasuke teachings but also Kakashi teachings as well to produce a whole new style in regards to the way he emits his chakra onto his sword. It's the same that Sasuke does it all the time. However, it seems that this is less controlled in regards of the amount of chakra put into the blade, thus increasing its cutting power as well. So another jutsu, because we're gonna keep into the aspect of lightning and go into water later. Another jutsu he could potentially have taught Boruto is the lightning cable jutsu. It just basically Boruto creates one shadow clone, both shadow clones, let's say, produce purple lightning, in which that purple lightning electricity is connected through this wire of electricity, in which it increases the cutting power of that jutsu. We see Kakashi utilize this jutsu in the video games. However, we see him utilize it in the canon. He utilized it to cut the hands of the State 2 Jinchuriki. And we know the State 2 Jinchuriki skin is strong enough not to be pierced by Orochimaru Kusanagi blade, even when he's extending his neck outward to increase the velocity and the force put behind the blade itself. It still wasn't able to pierce it even in the slightest. Naruto in his second state broke it. So now with Lightning Cutter, he's able to fight a lot of enemies or use his clones to use the lightning ability while still being able to stay back, because we see Boruto often utilize the shadow clones the same degree as Naruto, and a degree higher as well in regard to the way he mixes himself in. Sometimes people would knock the clone away, or the entity away, thinking it's the clone, but it was actually Boruto. And so when they actually knock all the clones away, Boruto pops back up again. And so he often hides himself in his clones relatively well. We see with Naruto when he used the shadow clone jutsu against Neji, he divided his chakra evenly up into the clones, in which Neji's Byakugan wasn't even able to distinguish which one is the real one. So if he's able to utilize a technique like this, when he's able to produce at least 5 shadow clones at this current point in time, that will also give him the leisure of being able to deduce the battle based off how the opponents react to that one move. It's a really easy lightning move, or lightning jutsu to complete. However, it's not something that is utilized outside of Kakashi. Next thing, lightning beast tracking fang. I do believe that Boruto has some sort of animal that he makes when converting his lightning chakra. We know, I think Kirin is like a giraffe or a lion or something, and then we have Kakashi using the hound itself. Naruto has Kurama. So we have all these different epithets, the toads as well. Maybe Boruto could produce like not a lightning snake, but maybe like a lightning toad jutsu, or some type of animal being formed by this lightning chakra, so that way he's able to emit his lightning. This will pretty much make sure that Boruto has no weakness in regards to his repertoire, because back in Naruto Shippuden, the part 2 of Naruto, we see Kakashi and Naruto chasing Deidara, and Kakashi explains to Naruto that when you're a melee fighter, you typically have tougher time against ranged fighters, while ranged fighters, the only way to really get in close to them is to have either A, get close to them with the melee, which they're going to be able to see and easily counter, or B, have someone who has a ranged jutsu who's able to actually interact with them, in which Kakashi then unseals his Mangekyou Sharingan, and we get the Mangekyou Sharingan for the first time, at least with Kakashi himself. So now, the next thing, based off that explanation, Kakashi could teach Boruto. This isn't lightning style jutsu, but Kakashi could eventually essentially teach Boruto how to unseal or unlock his Byakugan. We know Kakashi put like a seal up, I think it was like this or something like that, over his eye when he was unlocking his Mangekyou Sharingan, pretty much flowing chakra into his eye. So maybe Boruto flows chakra into the seal, in which the seal unlocks the Jogan, or yeah, maybe the seal itself unlocks the Jogan, and then he activates the Jogan, and then the karma itself amplifies that power of the Jogan, so that way he can utilize it all the more. Let me know what you guys think about that down below. Now, another jutsu Kakashi could teach him. We see him utilize it often. He utilized it in the Obito fight, and I also think he utilized it in the Kakuzu and Hidan fight as well, which is the lightning style clone, in which he's able to produce these lightning clones, and although they're somewhat physical, they still have the same application of shadow clones, in which they're not actually physical. So when someone damages them, instead of the clone going poof, it actually disperses back into its original element, basically discharging the lightning, leaving them open after getting hit or stunned by that lightning for a follow-up attack. We see Kakashi constantly employ this tactic, so I think that'll be one of the jutsu that he teaches Boruto as well. And so the next jutsu is multi-shadow clone jutsu. We only see Kakashi utilize the jutsu once, and that was during the Land of Wave arcs. He said multi-shadow clone jutsu Kakashi style, in which he was able to summon more than 5 shadow clones. If Boruto is able to summon more than 5 shadow clones, he's able to learn from Kakashi how to control or divide his chakra up finally enough to produce these clones. Although Kakashi said in that moment he was actually completely out of chakra, and all he was able to actually do was produce those clones for a bluff. The fact that he was able to split off that stamina into that many clones, he could probably teach Boruto that, and that'll help Boruto overcome his 5 shadow clone limit. So what if we finally get a chapter, Boruto looks for it, that chapter ends, he's shadow clone jutsu, and then the chapter ends, and the next chapter begins, and we see 100 clones, 200 clones, 1,000 clones out there, similar, reminiscent to his father as well. Because we know Momoshiki has his own chakra pool inside of Boruto, because when Boruto was asleep and Momoshiki took control of the vessel, and he was absorbing jutsu, and he was saying it was replenishing Boruto's chakra, but he was also shooting out jutsu as well, just going to show that he has his own chakra pool inside of Boruto. So essentially, Boruto has two. Why did I do this? Stupid ass. Boruto has two different chakra pools that he could potentially have access to as well. So maybe he could pull off some of Momoshiki's chakra pool, just similar to how Naruto would leech off of Kurama before they was cool with one another. I'm not saying I don't want Momoshiki and Boruto to get cool, but if he's able to tell Momoshiki, shut up, give me your chakra, and he's able to produce all these clones, I'll be okay with that, because that doesn't go against the power system in of itself. Now, another jutsu, this one is just for the memes. This one is just for the memes, but another jutsu is a taijutsu that I believe that he can teach Boruto, because he didn't teach Naruto this, but he did it on Naruto one time. Leaf Village secret technique, 1,000 years of death. If Boruto pops up with 1,000 years of death, bro, that is gonna make me lose my mind. I absolutely love that jutsu. So if you think Boruto could learn the 1,000 years of death, that jutsu was typically implemented from it was kind of like a passing of the torch jutsu. Sarutobi passed it on to Jiraiya because he did it to Jiraiya when he was a kid, and Kakashi passed it on to Naruto, and Naruto utilized it during part 2 of Naruto. So that's just one of those jutsu that I used to always think was hilarious, and I would love Boruto to get it since he doesn't use, harem jutsu. Next thing is the Peregrine Falcon drop. We see Sasuke does this attack on Orochimaru when he throws him off the tree in the forest to death. He interlocks his leg around his chin, and then he grabs his feet together and he just slams him down from a high altitude on top of his head. We know Kakashi has that ability as well, so I would love for either Sasuke or Kakashi to teach Boruto this attack. It had been amazing, just an amazing callback to Naruto and versus Sasuke in the final valley, but also a callback to his teacher Sasuke in general, and I would just love for him to have that. So now we're gonna get over to the element that Boruto don't utilize that much. You could consider this the weakest area of his jutsu repertoire, which is water style jutsu. I think he only used surging wave, and then he always applies lightning chakra on top of the surging wave in order to have a lightning current go out towards the opponent without him having to be there for a melee combat to hit him with it. So now, first jutsu. Wait. I actually didn't finish the taijutsu. So now the next jutsu is Shadow of the Dancing Leaf. It's just basically the jutsu that Lee does to completely get behind his opponent after launching them in the air with Dancing Leaf, because I want him, not Dancing Leaf, to kick him up into the air. He appears behind him with Shadow of the Dancing Leaf, and then hits primary loads. I don't think Boruto really should get primary loads or anything of that nature, but I think Dancing Leaf Shadow, just showing how quick Boruto is, he can either use Dancing Leaf Shadow to get behind his opponent, or use the same technique Sasuke used in the beginning of Shippuden to be on a completely different speed than everyone else. Because we see when he first meets Naruto and Sasuke, Naruto, Sai, and Sakura again, he jumped down, and Naruto's instincts, or Naruto doesn't even see him moving forward. Everyone still see kind of like an after image of him on the cliff, and he kind of just appears right in front of Naruto, in which everyone reacted too late, and he just completely bodies everyone. If he's able to use that jutsu as well, that'll be fire. But that will be more of a Sasuke video thing that I did. So hey man, I didn't mention it there, so I mentioned it here. So now the next jutsu would be something simple: water clone. We know Kisame is able to utilize water clone, and with the water clone has about 10% to 33% of the caster's chakra. We see Kakashi only utilize water clone in substitution ways, meaning he never used that to launch an offense or anything of that nature. However, he never used water clone to launch an offense or anything. However, to see Boruto utilize something like water clone to be able to shoot out a water style jutsu, because they are water in of itself, and it just goes to show the ingenuity of Boruto. And also these next jutsu would be a callback to his friend Kagura in the anime. So hey man, watch the anime, it do hit different. But the next jutsu I would love for Boruto to have is hidden mist jutsu. And the reason I would love Boruto to have hidden mist jutsu is because when we see Zabuza himself, the hidden mist was able to be seen through by Kakashi's Sharingan, but Zabuza himself can make the hidden mist so thick that even he himself cannot see into it. We know Kakashi at the time was utilizing 3 Tomoe Sharingan, but Boruto has a Jogan, which is a higher tier dojutsu. He should still be able to see in the hidden mist and still be able to get away from his pursuers or do what he has to do in that mist. You know, the hidden mist jutsu is still water particles, so that would still give him water essentially. Even though it's in the steam state, it'll still be water in order to produce higher tier water jutsu as well. And so let's talk about that higher tier water jutsu. We talked about Boruto having water clones in case he doesn't have any water. We talked about Boruto as well having hidden mist jutsu to utilize the water vapors in the air. The next jutsu we see is when we first seen Kakashi gang banging, and I mean really throwing up his set, really throwing up the other man's set, false flagging, and that's when he fought Zabuza Momochi, and he did water dragon jutsu for the first time. We know Kakashi followed the muscle movements in order to copy the jutsu, and Zabuza had all of those hand signs for water style water dragon jutsu in order to mitigate the amount of chakra that is consumed from that jutsu as well. So if we ever get a scene where Boruto just start gaming, hey man, I need it. Hey, editor, cue the scene with Kakashi and Zabuza gangbanging. Just play the whole thing. It's okay.
Ushisaru u ne I tori ushi uma tori ne tora inu tora mi ushi hitsuji mi I hitsuji ne. Ushisaru u ne I tori ushi uma tori ne tora inu tora mi ushi hitsuji mi.
Now that we're on from that, we know that jutsu was not the jutsu that concluded that fight. I would love to see Boruto utilize great waterfall technique. However, I don't want him to be able to utilize this much water without a large body of water around him, because we know Tobirama was able to do something like this without any water around him because of the vast amount of chakra he had and the chakra control he had as well. But he was a specialist in water style ninjutsu. Whether it was water style or ceiling ninjutsu, he was a specialist specifically in water style ninjutsu as well. So I would want this to be a jutsu that Boruto was able to utilize with stipulations. He has to have a large body of water around him for him to utilize it. That'll be amazing. It'll be a callback to Zabuza and how Zabuza himself and his ideology affected Naruto, because essentially Zabuza viewed himself only as a tool. Kashin Koji only views himself as a tool, and with Boruto spending all this time with Kashin Koji, he may view himself as a tool, but if Kakashi spent the time with Boruto before Kashin Koji and he returned to the village, then essentially Boruto could have the same aspect of Naruto in regards to the way he view himself and not view himself as a tool or a means to an end, just because of the lessons we learned through Zabuza. And so that'd be amazing. I would love for him to have water style water bullet, just a simple jutsu where we see, I think it's Gamabunta and Gamakichi, just mix water with Sage Chakra and they're able to shoot a bullet with high destructive capability. If Boruto is able to learn Senjutsu from Kashin Koji, then I would love for him to be able to utilize water bullet as well. That'll be fire. Now, we talked about a ton of offensive jutsus, but we know Kakashi utilized a defensive water style jutsu as well. It's one of the most common water style defensive jutsus. Comment down below what you think the jutsu I'm going to say is. I'm going to say it in 3, 2, 1. Water style water wall, because we see when he fights Itachi the first time, Itachi used his shuriken to distract Kakashi after he weaved hand signs, so that way he didn't know he used the jutsu, in which he used these like water drills, in which Kakashi countered with water wall. And so although you don't need an abundance of water to use this jutsu, you don't really need no water at all. The water could still be used to launch offensive jutsu, so that way Boruto can have a nice transition from defense to offense or offense to defense. So at least that way he's able to cover his weaker points. And so although I believe I would like Boruto to have all these jutsus, not all these jutsus are likely. So let me know what you guys think down below. What jutsus are likely, what jutsus aren't likely, and also what jutsu would you like Boruto to have? Because although I listed a ton of jutsus, ain't nobody got all that chakra, man. You ain't Naruto, bro. You ain't Kurama, so you don't get all that chakra. So all these jutsus will be utilized in specific situations, just like how we see him use Raijin for the first time, or how we see him use Rasengan Uzahiko for the first time, or how we see him use Purple Lightning to increase his slicing power and speed as well for the first time. But anyway, this is all I got for this video. Make sure you guys do the thingy. Do the YouTube thingy. Like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We got more Boruto videos again. But anyway, it's been your boy, wolph Nara. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'm out.
Who really a factor? I done grew up as a bastard, stepped out the wound into a disaster. Designing drugs and guns on my city after, pray for the lackers. Cause it only get worse and they try to blame it on the rappers. Label was factors. My rappy told me sign an affidavit like my life and my family ain't matter. Do you know how I feel to get served to the court on the platter? That shit happened. Lose your life fell soon like the months in the wound that your mama went through never happened. Seeing another lady, your baby was killed every summer, that shit like a pattern.